I have returned from New York, brought back some goodies. I've got myself a Radio City Music Hall Rockettes Christmas Spectacular popcorn bucket. It's cost me 25 bucks, by the way. And then got the Christmas Spectacular cup, sponsored by QVC. QVC, they also add Santa hats. One of my nephews got a Santa hat, and it says QVC in big letters across it. QVC sponsored the program. My mom is kind of obsessed with I was going to say Scooby D. My mom is kind of obsessed with QVC and has been for many years. But now she does what I think a lot of people do, which is you watch QVC and then you see the item and then you just order it on Amazon because Amazon does free returns. That was an exciting 3 days on the channel. In real life, it was 2 days in New York. So I went to New York City. It was a trip with my family. So I had my wife, my son, but also a couple of my brothers were there. My dad and mom were there. My sister was there, and all their families. So it was a lot of people were with me. So we were really short on time everywhere. Like everything. Like every time we got done with something, it was, we've got to get someplace as quick as we can. Let's move as quick as we can. So I did not have time to stop and show you guys a lot of the stuff I wanted to see, but we did get to see a lot of things. Just, had to see them real quick. These were the glasses that they give you for the Rockettes show. Now, here's the thing. You only use these for a very small portion of the show. This seemed wildly unnecessary. There was a very small portion early in the show where Santa tells you to put away your cell phones and put on your 3D glasses. I did record part of it. So if you watch, I recorded pieces of it. Nobody said anything. Other people were recording it. So apparently, I guess they don't care. They don't care if you post it on social media. Maybe they're happy because more people will see it. More people will go see it in person. Maybe they know that this is not something people are going to be like, well, I was going to go to New York City for a trip, but I found out it's on YouTube, so I don't need to. I think that people will still go. But this is the glasses they give you. So I like that show. I had seen it once before, many years ago. I mean, decades ago at this point, I believe. So I enjoyed seeing it again. It's a wonderful show. It's beautiful. Doesn't change much. It's about an hour and a half long. It's pretty elaborate. When they did the nativity scene, real camels walk across the stage, which everybody clapped for the camels. Camels had no idea why they were clapping. Camels just kept going across the stage, but everybody clapped for the camels. At one point, they had like 4 dozen Santas on the stage. It was really fun. I really enjoyed all of it. That said, boy, man, it is expensive. I don't remember what the price of the tickets were. My older brother said it was the most expensive nap he ever had. I did not fall asleep. I fall asleep at movies. You take me to the movies, it's a good chance I'm not making it to the end of the movie. It's a good chance I'm sitting in the dark in a comfortable, especially now they put recliners at the movie theater. I don't recline, but even so, you're sitting in an easy chair in the dark for a long time. It's hard. But I did not fall asleep for this. I did one of those where I started like leaning back and started feeling a little like I could fall asleep. But I was like, you sit up. You are not falling asleep during this show. But there you go. The Rockettes. The first day was New York City. Then I came home. And then the next day I went over to Port Washington. I went to Port Washington, New York. So we did see this. We saw where Mr. T was at the beginning of that. I'd love to have gone in St. Patrick's Cathedral. We only saw it from a distance. We did not see, I was looking around. I was looking for this building, which was the original FAO Schwartz. This is the one they show in the film. I commented on this. It's not the original. They were open since the 1800s, so they had some other location, but their famous 2 locations were this one, which they had until they closed in like 84, 85 and moved like right across the street. So this was their famous location, but then the movie Big opened, and then, through the 90s into the 2000s, they were like in a different location. So I had always gone to the one in the 90s and 2000s. I'd gone to that one. I had never been to this one. And I always was wondering why nothing matched up with because the way this one was laid out was totally different. But this building, still there. Maybe next year I'll go back and do this tour again. The other one, the one that was the hardest to find, was this shot of Mr. T and Emmanuel Lewis. They were getting onto this hansom cab. So I wrote a note here. It says, this was in front of 666 Fifth Avenue. which between 2020 and 2022 removed the curtain wall. Now, I didn't know what that was, but I read about what that is. It just basically means a fake exterior on a building that they have, a skyscraper in New York. It completely changed the appearance of the building. It doesn't look anything like it did. This is a picture. The only way I was able to track it down was finding a home movie where somebody showed that building, because this is what it looks like today. It's completely glass. It doesn't look at all like it did. The next shot they show of them, they're further back because they're in front of Bergdorf Goodman. You can actually see it there. We did not see Bergdorf Goodman, but I do want to go there. Bergdorf Goodman looks today, by the way, the same. And there's a shot from Arthur, which I was going to show you guys. Here's a shot from the Muppets Take Manhattan that you can see out the window when the guy comes over to tell Miss Piggy you don't come back an hour late from lunch on your first day. So that was in Bergdorf Goodman. I thought I might get to see it from a distance, but I did not. And then this building right here looked like this back then. So you can see. And there's Mr. T and Emmanuel Lewis in front of it. So I was going to try to track those down. Maybe next year, maybe we'll go back. Mr. T and Emmanuel Lewis watched the ice skaters. So this was them watching the ice skaters there. I was right near there. So if you watch the video, we were right near the ice skaters, but we were in a rush. We did not get to go over and see them. Mistake in the video. I was one block off with this. I noticed it when I watched the replay. This is on the wrong side of the street. I walked on the other street. I went on the other street first. I walked right by this. It looked the same on both streets. And the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, here it is. I'm going to show this when we come back the next time. And we went up one different block. So we were one block over, but it was essentially in the same spot. It was the same building. It was just the opposite side of the building. And the building looks identical on both sides. So it was basically the same thing, but not exactly where they were standing. But I did walk through that, and I didn't point it out at that point in time. So it is in the video. So yeah, the skating at Rockefeller Center, I did show where that was. We just didn't push our way to the ice and look down. Would have loved to have. We just didn't have time to do so. I wanted to show you, if we had gotten to Cartier, I was going to show you this spot. Cartier is right near Rockefeller Center. We didn't get by it. But had we gotten by it, I would have pointed out that there used to be a commercial where Lincoln Mercury, where the guy took a diamond in the back of a Lincoln Mercury surrounded by security guards, and then he split the diamond while driving through New York traffic. This brings us to Macy's Miracle on 34th Street. We did not go up to the side that said 34th Street. I wish we had. I would have put it on video. This, like where it says Macy's here, is shown in the movie. This is a shot from the movie, and today it's still there. It still says Macy's right up the side of the building. Yeah, you can see in this screen grab, you can see the S there of Macy's. I talked about the plaque with Titanic, the owners that died on the Titanic, and this is them. They were in the movie Titanic. They're the couple that is in bed at the end. That's who that is supposed to be. She was supposed to go on a lifeboat, and she said, I'm not going without my husband. She was like, I'll die on the ship. That's fine. She's like, but I'm not going to live the rest of my life without him. So she didn't. And that's kind of beautiful. It's, it's kind of sad that anybody died on that, but it's kind of beautiful that she chose to stick with him. I've always heard that story. I've heard about the plaque, and I've wanted to see it. So I knew what entrance it was near, but every picture of it online was zoomed in. And since we didn't have a lot of time, I couldn't walk through the store looking for it. I was hoping that I would spot it, but I didn't. I did spot that Edison plaque. Now here's a little more information about that. That is a plaque that says that the first time a paying audience saw Thomas Edison film was in that Macy's, the first. It says Hollywood was born here. Here's the thing about that plaque. So there was a screening of a Thomas Edison film that people paid money to watch in Macy's, 100 plus years ago. It was not the first time an audience saw a movie. It was not the first time an audience paid to see a movie. It was the first time an audience paid to see a movie made by Thomas Edison. So very distinct, specific part of history, and it was probably like a 3-minute film of a train coming at the camera or something. But that plaque is there, and I wanted to show you that. I'm glad we were able to show you that. My nephew jumps in front of the screen and does a funny face, which I did not react to, but watching it back, it cracked me up over and over. So I hope you like that. He was the one, by the way, we did the hoops videos with the weird basketball teams. He was the one that was here in the basement. So it was cool to have him along. He had a lot of fun talking about some of the weird trivia there. So I hope you enjoyed all of that. I'm back here for a while. Go to Raleigh, North Carolina next month for GalaxyCon's Animate show. So it's called Animate Raleigh. And I can't wait for that. I love going to Raleigh. Also, it's a drive. So I drive there. I don't fly. I used to fly to all these places, and I found that driving, I get to show you stuff. So I have several different spots that I might stop at. I'll tell you, we might do a filming locations for Guarding Tess, which if you haven't seen it, I love that movie. We might go to the Rusty Scupper, which I have a personal connection to. We might stop in Washington, D.C., or we might just go all the way down to Franklinton, North Carolina on the way and stop where Soupy Sales was born, who's one of my comedy legend and icons and idols. And we're going to see some other stuff. We might go into South Carolina. We did that last time we were over there. So I do like to do that. It's a bit of a drive, but you know, it's certainly a closer drive than from here. Once I'm all the way down North Carolina, it's not that far to go a little further. So I'm going to go there for you guys. I'll bring you on a new adventure. If you like these adventures, make sure and be like the Fonz. Give them a thumbs up. And while you do, go, hey, because that's what the Fonz would do. Tell somebody to sit on it. And that'll help the algorithm. And when you give it a thumbs up, they pass it along. YouTube says somebody like you might like it, and they send it to that guy. And if that guy likes it, then he gives it a thumbs up and so forth and so on. Maybe she, but it's like 80% of you are men. I'm not sure. Ladies, I'm not sure where you are. Am I not lovable to you? Am I not a sex symbol? I don't know. Well, if you want to find out, I got two videos here. YouTube says to watch this one. They say best for viewer. I say this one. So you can click either box. I'm in both, but I chose this one. I searched through the archives. I thought this would be a good one that needs more love from you. I'll be back here tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Brand new video. I'll see you then.